of a rare solar eclipse.
Good morning. It will be Manchester City against Real Madrid in the Champions League.
Good morning from Hampton Court Palace. We're here today for the Tulip Festival and we'll be showing you those a bit later on. But look at this fabulous sunrise. For many of us it's a cold start to the day, but it's going to be dry and sunny till some rain comes into the southeast a bit later. I'll have all the details throughout this morning's programme.
BBC News, Sydney.
It is an extraordinary spectacle, isn't it? And a lot of people remember the one here, the solar eclipse here. 8:30, speaking to the astronaut Tim Peake, who was one of the ones who was there, watched it unfold in person. Unique moment in
You were
time.
telling me you clearly remember the one in the late 90s. I can't remember it that well. I was possibly in bed because I was a teenager. What do you remember of it?
What's your point exactly?
No, I just want, because you were saying it was interesting.
It was interesting.
Yeah.
It was extraordinary. I mean, Carol would remember, I'm sure. I was on a beach in Cornwall when it happened. And it was one of those moments. You don't know what it's like. Carol, do you remember?
Yeah.
Do you remember it?
Yes, I do. I was actually working on breakfast at the Greenwich Observatory. It was quite spectacular. We all had these fancy glasses on as well, just so that we could get a better sighting of it, because you can't look at it with your naked eye, of course. But good morning, everybody. This morning I am at Hampton Court Palace because we have got the Tulip Festival taking place here. 110,000 tulips have been planted. Now you can see a few of them in the little barrels behind me, but look at the sunrise this morning. It is glorious, but it's also cold. If you haven't stepped outside yet, wrap up warmly this morning. Temperatures widely across England, Wales and Northern Ireland have fallen to between 2 and 5 degrees. In parts of Scotland, Braemar for example, it's -4 with some frost. You know that saying, never cast a clute till May is out? This is why. Anyway, today's forecast is one of a lot of sunshine across the far north of northern England, into Northern Ireland and also Scotland for much of the day. But then, Charlie and Nina, it turns unsettled and it's going to turn colder, especially Sunday into Monday.
Carol, never cast a clute until April's oot. What is a clute?
No, me.
Oh, so that's not the
Well,
issue.
it depends. A clute, it's a cloth, so keep your warm clothes out because the weather is still changeable. But other people say it's also don't take off your winter coat basically until the Mayflower is out. So it's both, one or the other, depending on which end of the country you live in, Nina.
Don't put the big coat
Keep
away
your warm
just yet,
coats
Charlie.
out till the
That's
end of
it,
May,
yeah.
basically.
Very helpful. Thank you.
Yes.
We now know what a clute is.
Wise word. 6:15 the time. He's a very talented artist. Those royal drawings are wonderful. And sticking with the kind of royal theme, Carol's got the weather for us from one of the royal palaces. Hampton Court Palace, stunning place.
It certainly is, Charlie. Yes, good morning, everybody. I've moved into the fountain court, aptly named. As you can see behind me, there's the fountain. Look at all these tulips. There are about 10,000 planted in here. Now, we're here because it's the Tulip Festival, and more than 110,000 have been planted for the festival. They've got all kinds of groovy names like Raspberry, Ripple, and also Merlot. Merlot because it's the colour of the Merlot wine, and there's a lot of them which come beautifully out of another fountain. So we'll be seeing if we can see them a wee bit later on. But one thing I want to point out today too is if you have an allergy to tree pollen, the pollen levels are high or very high, more or less across the whole of the UK. The exception to that is across the far northeast of Scotland. So the forecast for today, you have worth noting too, Charlie and Nina, that on Sunday and into Monday it's going to turn much colder, and in the hills in Scotland we're likely to see some wintry showers.
Carol, we're a bit fed up. We feel like we've only had 2 days of spring and then the coats are back on.
I know, Nina, I'm feeling your pain. I feel the same. I just wish we could have some lengthy spells of pleasant spring weather. But it is spring and it's still very topsy-turvy this time of year.
And you know what? The tulips didn't get the memo. They are still looking resplendent, aren't they?
They certainly are. And there's so many of them. I can't wait to show you some more as we go through this morning.
Oh, we look forward to that. Carol, thanks so much.
Time now is 6:42. The funeral.
Good morning from Hampton Court Palace. We're here for the Tulip Festival and they are looking magnificent. It's a cold start to the day. It's also going to be sunny for most of us until later when some rain comes into the southeast. I'll have all the details throughout this morning's programme.
Now, Hampton Court Palace. We have a lovely sunny day for you, Carol. How about that? But a bit nippy, am I right?
You're absolutely right, Charlie. Yes, good morning both. Good morning to you too. It is a cold start to the day. And the reason we're at Hampton Court Palace this morning is because the Tulip Festival is underway. It runs until the 1st of May and it's spectacular. Look at these tulips. First of all, the pink ones are called Lady Van Eyck. The deep purple ones are Queen of the Night. And about 110,000 of those were planted last autumn. Now, in this particular area, this is called the Pond Gardens. There are 2 gardens. Well, here there are roughly in excess of 20,000 of those tulips. And the reason this is called the Pond Gardens is because both gardens used to be a big fish pond. And in the days of Henry VIII, he would fish here, and the fish that he caught would be brought into the palace to feed the court. Now, it's a cold start, as Charlie mentioned. Temperature sunshine and showers, some of those heavy and thundery in the Midlands and also the West Country. And as we go through the ensuing few days, Charlie and Nina, it is going to turn cooler.
We are braced for it, Carol. Lots of tulips there this morning, but don't forget to be careful because Hampton Court is haunted.
Now you tell me, Nina.
It's behind you.
Specifically, I think it's the kitchens. If I'm right, I think it's the kitchens rather than the gardens. So I think Carol's all right for the time being.
She'll be all right in the garden, we hope. Stay safe, Carol.
Thank you.
Let's see, time now is 7:15.
Let's check in with Carol, who's at Hampton Court this morning with a whole load of tulips. You promised us more, and there they are, beautiful.
They are stunning, aren't they, Nina? Good morning, everybody. It is the Tulip Festival taking place here at Hampton Court Palace this morning. You can see the beautiful array behind me. But something else I wanted to show you whilst we're here is this. Now, this might just look like an unplanted flower bed, but buried beneath this are the roots of the grapevine, the largest grapevine in the world, and it grows in the glass house. And the roots have this area to themselves, so they don't have to compete with other plants for water and nutrients. And every January, the vinekeeper feeds the roots with well-rotted horse manure. And the vines with healthy roots, of course, means that they're going to yield more grapes. And here they produce about 270 kilograms, that's 600 pounds of grapes each year. And they are black Hamburg grapes, and the vines are 250 years old. I didn't know any of that until this morning. But if you are just stepping out this morning, it's some wintry showers on the hills across the north. Charlie and Nina.
Carol, thank you very much. Sorry, we're in mid-conversation with Francis Rossi, we've had a few technical problems here this morning.
Good morning from Hampton Court Palace. We're here for the Tulip Festival. There are 110,000 of them here, and it's a cold start to the day. But for most of us, it's going to be a sunny one till later when some rain comes into the southeast, and we still have that nagging northeasterly breeze. I'll have all the details later in the programme.
Time now is 11 minutes past 8. Means it's time to have a chat with Carol, who's at Hampton Court Palace for us this morning, having a bit of a look round, Carol. So this is one of the inner courtyards, isn't it? Absolutely stunning.
That's right, Charlie, on all counts. Good morning, everybody. This is the Fountain Court, and you can see all the tulips around it. Now, there are approximately 10,000 tulips in here, and throughout all of the gardens, there are about 110,000 tulips planted, all in honour of the Tulip Festival, which is taking place at the moment and runs until the 1st of May. So the flower beds, the courtyards, the very famous cobbled courtyards, all taken over by tulips. It is a sight to behold. And it reminds me to tell you, on a slightly different note, that the pollen levels today are high or very high across northern England as well. But as we go through the ensuing few days, Charlie and Nina, it is going to turn cooler.
Carol,
Do you
thanks
know,
very much.
Carol, I've never been to Hampton Court, but as ever, you've made me want to take a visit there.
It's lovely, Nina, and especially just now with all these tulips and in this weather. Perfect.
A good excuse. Thanks so much.
Just come up to 14 minutes past 8. Welcome back. We'll have a look at the weather now. Carol's at Hampton Court Palace for us. Tiptoeing, Carol. Tiptoeing through the tulips. Is that right?
Something like that, Charlie. Yes, indeed. We've been tiptoeing all morning. It's beautiful. The Tulip Festival's underway here at Hampton Court Palace. We're in the Fountain Court, surrounded by 10,000 beautiful tulips. And Hampton Court Palace has actually been associated with the tulip for quite a long time. Former resident Queen Mary II, who ruled jointly with William III, was a keen horticulturalist and collected plants from around the globe to feature in the gardens at the palace, including the prized tulip. And if you come here, you'll see the rare tulips as they were looked in William and Mary's time, as well as other historic varieties. And they are beautiful. Now, the weather today is pretty beautiful as well. We'll see some wintry showers.
Thank you, Carol. No sign of any ghosts then this morning?
No, but I would like to say a big thank you to Hampton Court Palace, especially Jess, who did her best to find one, but we didn't.
You might not necessarily know that they're there. Thank you, Carol.
Thanks.
7 minutes past 9.